We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Terron Armstead, Miami Dolphins left tackle. Looking at him in his first game back. Haven't seen him for most of the games this season, but I think he's very important to this team's success and like what he can bring to the offense. I think he played overall pretty well versus the Chiefs, but was a little rusty in certain situations. So I think having the bye week would be very important for him, and just getting everyone back as well. Robert Hunt having like the full O line out there minus the left guard situation, which is a little rough. But I think having Armstead out there with a backup left guard will definitely help that left guard play. But Armstead looks good in a lot of one-on-one situations. He's clearly the best option to have out there in pass protection. He's just so advanced, knows exactly what he's doing. He's still a great athlete. And then just need him to stay healthy. Hopefully he can do that. You can see him. They like to run off these play actions, have these people, aggressive set. Everyone else is getting double teamed up front. They leave him isolated versus 51, and he just does a good job staying square, resetting those hands underneath, winning the leverage battle, and then giving Tua a lane to throw down the field to Waddle on the first play of the game. I do love his technical savvy and athleticism so much, because look at him get out here in space like that. He doesn't really even need to do too much because the ball's coming out so quickly, but you can just see with his footwork, he loves to mix things up and make it difficult. There's so much nuance going on this type of play. Just see how his first step out is towards him and then get back. That is baiting the pass rusher here, getting him to slow down, because they've been doing a lot of play action and where he gets aggressive sets, attacks him, but here he fakes that sort of aggressive set, and he knows he has the athletic ability to recover in case the guy does get beat, and that just slows down 51. Look how much he's preparing for the attack from Armstead, and then once he does shoot out his hand, Armstead just swipes it down, wins instantly. That's such good work, just disguising, mixing things up in your protection with your footwork and then your hand usage. I love those types of plays out of Terron Armstead. Armstead also did a decent job in the running game when the Dolphins were running the ball. They didn't run it super successfully early on because they're running a lot of pitches, things like this, and these didn't work too well after the fact. But he also had his big plays. He gets a little help here from Smythe, working a double team out to 51, but he just is able to strain this, drive this person down, help them get 6 yards. Pretty good stuff. He's a pretty good mover, even though he's a little bit older. He's tested off the charts when he first came into the league. That will always be a big part of his game. I still think he makes a bigger impact in pass protection, but you can see the type of things that he can do in the running game. There's two plays he really messed up on. This one right here, and then another play which was also a big mistake. This is a 3rd and 15, and I think he just takes a poor angle, them trying to set up this shovel pass up front with some screen action. They get everything they want to the right. Basically one of these two have to block 23. Armstead's peeking, doesn't see anyone, so now he wants to get out here and just cut off 23. He just takes a poor angle on the initial his initial step here, and that gets him off. And then Jones also misses and allows Drew Tranquill to make that open field tackle. It would have been a huge play if just one of them got a piece, but I think Armstead is the one who got to get this initial play here, because there's nowhere else for him to work. It looks like he's trying to work out into space and be a lead blocker, but there's no one to really go to. Everyone else, they got 3-3 this side, and it's basically just this guy, leave him unblocked, let him work upfield towards Tua, and then you just got to get hands on 23, and that was a big mistake in the game because that could have been a huge play. Here we see him one-on-one, another play action shot down the field to Jalen Waddle, and he's just one-on-one with Chris Jones, which is an interesting battle. Not going to see that too often in his games because Chris Jones, more of that defensive tackle interior guy, but since he's lined up as the 4-eye and just how they're, sliding their protection here, he ends up getting that one-on-one, and you can just see he can handle guys who are, bigger, stronger type players. He's got good base technique. He's straining the whole time. He's got the high hand, low hand, good shoulder right there as well. And he's able to reset. You can see how he resets that left hand to regain his leverage right there. That's really good nuanced stuff. And it gives Tua time to throw the ball down the field. Doesn't end up getting caught here because I don't think Waddle ran his best route. It was a good decision to go here. Maybe could have been thrown a little bit better, but I don't think Waddle really sees it until super late, and the initial part didn't end up working out. But Armstead can still bring so much value to this team if he can stay healthy. Another toss play, this time to Zavon Ahmed, probably the only one that worked Ahmed all game long, and we just see him climb to the second level, block a linebacker down the field. Pretty good work. Tranquill ends up getting involved a little bit on the play. Some weird stuff happening here. They him and Jones run into each other, knock each other off balance almost a little bit. Jones gets taken out, but he's able to get out, cut this guy off, get a good block on him, allow them to work off and at least pick up 9 yards because of just the positioning athleticism to get out there in space. he gets a one-on-one with Chris Jones. This is some solid recovery and anchor here, like from him. He gets a little help from the left guard, but if you go back and watch this, like he gets this under control before Jones ends up helping. He gets basically a little bit caught off balance to the inside. He gets a little overset. His feet aren't in perfect position, and then he gets thrown back from Chris Jones, who's very powerful. But look at him like reset the hands right there, able to get his hand fighting, and then just drop the anchor. Give Tua enough time to throw it underneath, gets incompleted. This is like right before half, but this is a solid rep from Armstead. Armstead sometimes just does such a good job at shutting down edge rushers like it's nothing. They end up, he has to roll out, things don't work out, but if you just focus on Terron here versus George Karlaftis, he does a great job getting out here. He's patient in his set. He always mixes things up with his footwork, like I showed earlier, looking like he might go out, attack him, but then get out of your stance there. He's staying patient with his hands, letting Karlaftis engage, and then boom, able to reset, get his feet back out there, and then right there, it looks like he might, give up the edge, and look how quickly he's able to just boom with his footwork and get back into position. That is really, really good stuff from Armstead. I think this was actually Armstead's biggest blunder from the game. Sometimes when they bring like these DBs blitzing, it's a lot of times it is on the quarterback. Depending on your protection, you should know where you're hot. Now, you see this guy coming. If this protection's sliding to the right here, then yes, the ball has to come out quickly, and this is on Tua. He has to know that there's going to be a free rusher. But if you actually end up going and looking at this, they slide protection to the left. They only get 1-on-2 to this side, and 98 still gets through. But they slide protection to the left, and that's a 3-on-3. Williams should get the innermost guy. Eichenberg would take 95, and Armstead just doesn't get far enough outside, doesn't see 22 coming until it's too late. So this is on Armstead. Tua should not be thinking that he's going to be under pressure right away, because he's first reads to the right, so he's not even seeing this over here. But if he saw this pre-snap and was like, okay, I'm deciding the right, I have to know if I'm hot, and then he could replace it, then it would be on Tua. But they have the numbers over there to block it, and they just don't. And that ruined one of the drives like right before the half, and I think, that's something I'm not too worried about with Armstead in the future, but it was a big-time mistake in this game. And then the two big runs on the final drive, I just feel like the whole line did a really good job on these. Armstead does kind of what he does best when run blocking, just using the defender's own momentum and leverage against him. Just take them where he wants to, makes things easier. A lot of times with these outside zones, you might think, okay, with this, you want to reach them, capture the outside, but from what they're doing here, you're trying to, bang this back up. So he just widens him using that right arm, get him to the outside. Everyone just explodes out this way. They'll get the outside leverage, and then just leaves a big hole for Mostert to work through. Then the next run, very similar. Just drive this guy to the outside, kick him out. Good stuff from your left tackle. The whole line, again, doing this to this side. And, you can see how they're set up for this. They're expecting this based on Mostert being to the right of the quarterback. They have all these guys on the right side of the defensive line, left of the O-line. He just gets out there, tack underneath low, get that leverage. You kind of want to move that low hip, and it just completely widens these guys to the outside. Everyone gets way too wide and just leaves that nice lane for Mostert to work through. Last play that I'm going to break down here for Terron Armstead. This was on the final drive. This is like the 1st and 10 where Tua basically threw it away down to Mostert in the flat. But it's a good rep by Armstead nonetheless, just stonewalling when one-on-one. Pretty good for the most part. I think, Jackson gives up a little too much space here, makes things uncomfortable. But the left side of the line, good job by Liam, good job by Armstead. Connor does a good job versus Chris Jones. But you can just watch Armstead here. Has a little bit of the drag hand with his right hand just in case 51 works into this gap. He can help Liam, but staying patient. Look at him, good knee bend, not overextended there. And then once he gets engaged, just complete control of the situation. He's not going to get pushed back. He's just very, very good technically in his body control, the balance, all of those types of things. Armstead is just a complete veteran, but missing that one block on that sack, I think, was a huge mistake mentally. And he's usually, very good mentally, but sometimes, maybe it was a little bit of a rust thing. I don't think it's going to be a huge concern in the future, but that play was for sure on Terron. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.